everybody, to our live custom stream.
On my earpiece.
All right, guys, looks like we are live. Welcome, everybody. Man, today is an amazing day. We got awesome people on the panel and even more incredible people that we are going to be able to chat with today. And
on my earpiece. On my earpiece.
Somebody has... All right, guys, looks like we are live. Welcome, everybody. Man, today is an amazing day. We got... Who's doing that one? Okay, that's why we come on a little bit earlier. Okay, so we are on a little bit early just so we can say hello to everybody on the panel before we go live and do our interview. So welcome, everybody. My name is Symons, also known as PPG Grandpa. I run a school over here in Arkansas called Paramotor, Arkansas. You want to learn to fly? Check out paramotorarkansas.com. We also got another sponsor of the show, Jim from Canada. Hey, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man.
Doing good, doing good. Glad to be
here.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about your business and how you can help us out. And I heard that there's a discount code too.
Yeah, you mentioned PPG Grandpa and you get 10% off. If you go to our DIY printing site, DIYprinting.ca, then you can automatically get 10% off anything you order. So if you put in that PPG Grandpa. And I got a website put together today for picture submission for the PPG calendar. So if you have a really cool picture that you like, go to ppgcalendar.com and please submit your photo and it'll go in the running to be in the calendar for this next year.
Do you have a certain link for that already? Is it set up right now that I can put in the description, or do we need to wait until you got that set up a little bit better?
No, it's working.
Oh, what's the link? What's the URL? How can we get there?
ppgcalendar.com.
ppgcalendar.com, and it goes straight to it?
You betcha. That's the submission page.
All right. I will definitely have to check that out. Matter of fact, might need to check it out right now. So you go to paramotorcalendar.com, and what does it do? It goes to your link itself?
Paramotor Calendar goes to where you buy them. So PPG Calendar will go to where you could submit them.
Okay. So
submit
PPG.
Pictures.
Oh, PPG Calendar. Oh, okay. ppgcalendar.com. Let's see what it does here real quick, since I got two of these things here. Upload your images. Okay, there it is. PPG Calendar. Awesome. All right, so go to ppgcalendar.com and check that out. I just did, so why not, right? We also you also do decals or decals, as you say, stickers and all that stuff. And if you want to do that, just get up with you. Use PPG Grandpa as the discount code and get money off, right? Free money.
Exactly.
Who would ever thought that my name would give people free money? I like that a lot.
Grandpa's are worth a lot.
Free money is great. All right. So thank you very much, Jim. We appreciate you. We always want to go up there to Canada and smell your maple syrup smelling money because, hey, I heard that that's the best money ever. And you're flying now too, or do you still have a hole in your piston?
I no longer have, well, I have a hole in the other pistons, but I now have a good piston.
Good. What are you up to as far as flights?
I think it's like 175.
Get out of town, man. Keep it rocking and rolling. That's awesome. DP goes, you going mullet? You'll never know. I got a hat on. All right. So anyways, thank you so much, Jim, for everything that you do. And thank you for sponsoring the show. We also got Paramom USA, our very own Lynna Anderson with your pom-poms.
I had to unmute myself like really fast.
Where's the pom-pom? There's the pom-poms.
Welcome, Monday night. The place to be, right here, nowhere else. Monday night on Clear Prop. This is it. Welcome, chatters. Welcome, viewers. My panel, my guests. I'm always super excited about Monday night. So y'all grab your snacks and sit back and enjoy because it's going to be a really, really good show. That's it.
It always is good. And if you want to be on the show, all you have to do is get up with Lynna Anderson. You go to paramomusa.com, forwards over to her Facebook page, and just PM her and say, I want to be on PPG Grandpa's Paramotor Podcast, clearproptv.com, or paratalk.org.
That's it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Linda. I
I
appreciate
always,
you.
I always forget to say that part
What part?
about getting the guests on the show. If you want to find, I have to remember to say that. Or maybe I can write a script next time before I get on the show.
Or maybe I could just remind you and say it, so it's no problem.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, Linda. And the reason why Linda's on here too is that, this show that we want to do here on PPG Grandpa's Paramotor podcast is to go from people that have never flown and also keep people captivated that are flying or possibly even instructors, so we want to do a wide variety of shows. And Linda is here in case we start saying acronyms or saying something that most people don't get. She can say, hey, what does that mean? To help you guys out that can't say, hey, what does that mean? So we appreciate you, Linda, and everything that you do for the show and for the sport. All right. Well,
my very first lingo I learned like way back when I started the show with you guys, you kept talking about LZs, and finally I figured it out. So that was huge for me.
What does LZ stand for?
Landing zone.
Woot, woot, woot. All right.
I know. So I just thought I'd share that, it's okay. We've all been there. I've been there. So now my vocabulary has gotten huge in the paramotor paragliding world. So.
Awesome.
Back to you, Sean.
We appreciate you, Miss Linda. Thank you so much. We also got Will Fly from willflyppg.com. What's up, buddy, old pal? Oh, you're on mute. You know that, right? He goes, damn, I'm on mute.
Read
there you
my
go.
lips.
I can read lips, but I don't think that people that are listening to the podcast can read it.
I'm trying to, be courteous. I make sure there's no noise in the background while others are talking. It burns me every time, though. Hey, it's good to be here. Monday is my favorite night, and I'm looking forward to tonight's show.
It always is good shows, and I heard that we are the #1 podcast on Monday nights.
You are at 8 p.m. Eastern.
And 7 p.m. Central. Excellent. So been doing any videos lately? Any paramotortips.com that we need to check out, Will Fly?
None that are ready yet. I've got 2 in the works, so I'll probably end up dropping 2 at the same time. We'll see. But yeah, definitely haven't given up on that. Just I've been sidetracked by the van and getting that all set up, but I'm putting the finishing touches on it now.
Van? What van? What are we doing?
You didn't know I got a van?
Oh, tell everybody.
Band.
Tell everybody about it.
Oh, the van, yeah, I got everyone, I think everyone does. I got a Dodge Ram 2021 Dodge Ram 2500 and fixing it up to make it my home away from home when I go to, fly-ins.
Well, that's awesome. I can't wait to see video on that. So how would we check out your YouTube if we want to see something?
You just look up Will Fly on YouTube or online at willflyppg.com. Check it out.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And we are going to be doing the spinning wheel of winning things tonight. So make sure you say hello to Will Fly and to Jim. Let them know that you are in here and you want to win something on the spinning wheel of winning things. We also got Mike Crotchett from last week. So he's on the panel. Welcome, buddy. Glad that you're here. We also got Scuba Steve. He's going to be here and helping us out in the background. But once again, it's not about me. It's not about the panel. It's about our awesome guests tonight. We got 2 guests, actually. We got Mark and Shana, and they're coming to us from Florida, and they have a lot to say. We talked on the phone, and God, what we talk, Shana? We talked for like an hour. I'm like, you know what? This could have been a podcast, because everything we talked about was just nonstop. Me asking you questions, you telling me stuff. I'm like, this is a podcast. So I knew from that point that when we started this podcast, it would be a 20-hour podcast, but we need to bring that down just a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the interview just a little bit. We're going to do the interview for an hour, and then at 8 o'clock, so in about 50 minutes, we're going to do the spinning wheel of winning things. Must be present to win, and then we're going to be doing an after show, still live. So we'll do about 2 hours. I think that you guys have a lot to talk about. So for those of you, so welcome to the show. We're so glad that you're here. And who do we have here? And tell us how you got into flying paramotors, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
So
this is my husband, Mark Denny, and I'm Shana Gudgel Denny. Mark and I are high school classmates from local here in Titusville High School. So Mark, get how you got into flying and
Flying came through skydiving, actually. I started skydiving here in Titusville in '87. And from there, a guy on the field got a paramotor, a skydiver, Chris Garrison, who actually was working with Aviator here recently. He got a paramotor back in the '90s, and it became an interest in mine. I started flying ultralights. Actually, I got my first ultralight from 1993 upstairs, and it's a pterodactyl is what I started with. And then in 2001, I got into powered parachutes, and then I got into paramotoring through Eric DePore at Flyby Ranch. Him and John Good and Richard Good. They had a big field out there, and that's where I started.
So how long did you skydive before you switched over to power parachuting or paramotoring?
Well, I started in '87 and I continued right through. Even today, I got a jump coming up on New Year's with a crew team, the Crew Dogs, who do world record formation.
relative canopy work. Canopy relative.
Yeah, canopy relative work. And
We had a friend pass away recently in a skydiving accident. Mark's actually a best friend that he did all his canopy relative work with back in the day. They were, excuse my terminology, they were the Muff Brothers, very classy, but that's what they were. They were called the Muff Brothers, and he
I know why, because you put your earmuffs on when you have a helmet, right?
Exactly. That's why. And they were a wild bunch of guys. And one of them is passed away last week doing a skydive in Hawaii. He hit the ground, didn't make it. We're having a celebration of life for him coming up soon. And then another one of the Muff Brothers was Steve Jester. And a lot of people have heard of Steve Jester because he is crazy. And he is a base jumper, and he's wild, but he's very safe. In fact, when Mark said, I want you to do a skydive and I want you to go tandem with this guy, Steve Jester. And I was like, yeah, whatever. I trust you, Mark. When I met Steve, I was like, hell to the no. I'm not jumping with that lunatic. But he's the best of the best. And
he's good.
He's good. He's good. And he's crazy. He's a base jumper, but he's one of the Muff Brothers, but all of them were very
number 2, actually, him and Dennis McGow.
Yeah, and Steve is actually on the World's Wildest Police videos. One of those, those shows, remember the World's Wildest Police videos where they show all these criminals doing all this stuff? He is actually on there base jumping off of a bridge at the Snake River, and the cop is trying to say, hey, you can't do that. And he's like, yeah, I have to. And then he leaps off the bridge. He's actually on one of those wildest.
Jester base arrest.
So Mark has a long history of jumping with a wild crew, professional skydivers, canopy relative work, all this. When you see all the skydiving wings that are stacked, in formation and do all this stuff, that's canopy relative work. So that's how he got into the ultralights, just being around the airport, being around the people, and then migrating over to the ultralights.
So when did you start flying? So what do you fly? I mean, you fly a lot of different things. I mean, you fly PPCs, you fly fixed wings, paramotors. What else do you guys do? I heard that you even make your own jerky.
I do.
We do. He's actually a licensed hot air balloon pilot also. So not only, and that's a very difficult license to get. That's a very difficult, if you talk about something that's hard to learn how to fly, that's probably the top of the line. And yes, we do make our own jerky.
Yeah, I started making jerky in '87, same time. And then wrestler Hacksaw Jim Duggan put his name on my product back in '95, and I did that with him for like 6 years. Went through some family issues that led me to end up closing the door, but I still make it to this day, and I'm going to end up producing the marinade and putting it out here shortly under JerkyMon, jerkymon.com.
We still,
Jerky
yeah, we
Juice
still,
is going to be the name of it,
we
actually.
still make jerky, and we still ship it all over the United States, and I can't sell it out fast enough. I drop it off to key places, and 30 minutes later, somebody's calling me and saying,
We got a big dehydrator right there, if you can see it. It's yeah. So most people got the little ones on the.
and when the
sit on
weather's
shelf.
right, we actually do Florida sun-dried jerky. We fly, it's all natural. We don't use preservatives in our jerky, and we dry it in the Florida sun. No dehydration, no artificial electrical dehydration needed. We have a system where we dry it in the Florida sun, and it's amazing.
The texture comes out better when you use the sun. And
Yeah.
most people don't even realize it. If they've been taught to use electricity, and you got to do it through that, and that's not true. I do dry it in the sun, and at the end, I might bring it inside and stick it in a machine to bring it up to temperature to kill any bacteria off. But for the most part, worldwide, you can dry it in the sun-dried jerky. People's
really
been
good.
doing it for 6,000 and 10,000 years now. So it's like now that we
since
got
the caveman days.
Yeah, since caveman days.
That's what they did when they.
You marinate it in salt water, and that's a preservative all in itself. That's all you got to do. But now that we've come up with different marinades, we can come up with a lot of different flavors, more than just salt.
So we do the aircraft, we do the jerky, and then
we have a nonprofit also.
we have a nonprofit. We own an island on the St. Johns River, and
Central Florida.
in
near
Central
Orlando.
Florida, near Sanford International Airport, about 8 miles from Sanford International Airport. And we, Mark and I are nature lovers. We always feel alive when we're out in nature. So when we purchased this island, we were just drawn to purchase this island. We felt like it was a calling, and we had no idea why. But we purchased the island, and we have a 1,200-foot runway, a 1,200 by 500-foot wide runway on it. For ultralight flying, a paramotor, power parachutes, paratrikes, and honestly, like if you had a little puddle jumper, bush hog type aircraft, it could probably land on it too. And then we, on the other end of the island, we open up the island for people who need healing with nature. It's been proven that nature medicinally is more effective than Prozac and a lot of the other medications when it comes to mental healing, physical healing, and a lot of different other aspects. So just by getting out in nature automatically lowers your blood pressure, lowers your blood sugar, lowers your stress hormones, increases your immune system. Mentally, it is a wonderful depression. And so we started the nonprofit to provide people a place. What?
It's a wonderful depression.
It's wonderful for depression. We started the nonprofit to create a place where like-minded groups can come out and enjoy nature and have healing through yoga, through meditation, through plant medicine, and boating and fishing, and just being out in nature away from all the stimulus that, like a city and all the draw that a city has for that gets people into trouble. So we do have a lot going on.
We have shamans from South America come up and do events on the island. We have
Local facilitators.
Our attorney is the #1
plant medicine attorney in the United States. Yeah, probably in the world.
To set up entheogenic churches nationwide legally, to get them all legalized. You can check him out at entheoconnect.com. His name's Greg Lake, and he'll help you. Anybody really honestly has the right intentions, not just to party and do it for the wrong reasons, but for the right reasons to help others. He is willing to help anybody in that realm.
So
So,
how
yeah.
far is your island away from shore? So like, I mean, if somebody wanted to come fly there, like on a paramotor, would they have to fly from shore to your island, or they
Yeah.
ride a boat out to the island?
Google Mullet Lake Park, Florida, and then you'll see you'll see it right there. We are like 300 feet away from the park, the boat ramps.
We're about 30 minutes from the East Coast. We live in Titusville, right on the East Coast, right on the Indian River, which is right next to the NASA and all that.
From the Indian River itself, we're like 25 miles away in a straight line from that, which NASA is straight across the river, 3 miles across the river, plus another 3 miles. So the launch pads are about 31 miles away from the island. We fly out of Titusville and Geneva, Florida, which would, like I said, if you Google Mullet Lake Park, Florida, our island is 300 feet north of that. You'll see a big, there's a 100-acre island right there. We own 33.3 acres of it. It's beautiful.
And,
I mean,
it's truly an island. You either fly in through with the paramotor, which we've had lots of people do. We've had a lot of mini fly-ins just for local friends and family. And we've had people fly in from different areas to the island. Eric
DeFore was actually the first paramotor.
Oh yeah, Eric's the first person who flew off the island, actually.
Jonathan Carr.
And so it's definitely accessible. And there's a lot of local, like, private airstrips around there also, where some people will go to the private airstrip or and get permission to go, and they'll launch from there, and they'll come over to the island, and they'll take back off, and they'll go explore the area. It's beautiful. The whole St. Johns River is just gorgeous.
Yeah, it's the best kept secret. And then like Mike Britt, he lives in Christmas. He has a little runway. That's where Eric used to teach out of. So we're like 10 miles north of that on the St. Johns River itself, just the same atmosphere. And as he used to teach 10 years ago, now he's up in Jasper, Florida. And he is my mentor. I love the man, him and Elizabeth. I was actually Elizabeth's first customer to get my wing fixed. I think I was the first person she ever worked on their wing. Once
back
she
in
started
the day.
back in like 2001 or 3, somewhere in that area.
But yeah, it's a beautiful place, and it's just conducive to just all types of activities. We've had weddings out there. We actually got married out there. We've had weddings. We've had plant medicine ceremonies. We've had fly-ins. We've had fly-ins and stuff like that. So
you said that you have fly-ins. So do you have your own fly-in on your island?
Yeah, we do.
We have the runway. We have a 1,200-foot runway, and people come out and they fly in with paramotors and ultralights. So again, what I was starting to say is it's not just you just pull up and, unload your paramotor. It's kind of an interesting experience because you pull up to the docks, and then we have special barges that we've built to load your paramotors or your powered parachutes or your paratrikes or your fixed wing. We load them onto the boat, then we sail them to the island because it is truly an island. You cannot walk, drive, whatever over there. We sail them to the island, and we have an unloading dock over there.
300 foot away from
Yeah, it's only 300 feet, but once you get over there, you feel like you're just in another world. It's totally peaceful. It's totally serene. So everybody pulls up to the docks, and we load their aircraft, whatever type it is, on the barge. We sail them over to the island, and we try to boat them, whatever.
How would I look that up again?
Mullet Lake Park, Florida.
Look at Mullet Lake Park,
fish.
Florida. And then you'll see on Google Maps, you'll see Mullet Lake Park. And then right across, about 300 feet across from Mullet Lake Park is our island. And it's a 100-acre island, but we own 33 acres right across from Mullet Lake Park.
On the east end.
So if you look at the Mullet Lake boat ramp,
Mullet like the hairdo.
it's directly north of the Mullet Lake boat ramp.
that Q-tip
So-
looking end of it. That's us right there. You got it. Yep, that's us.
So
In fact, exactly that Q-tip right there in the street where you got it cut off. You got it cut off is
So
our
you
whole
see,
33
you see
acres.
where it says Moult Lake Park, and you see where it says
The
St.
white.
St. John's River?
Yeah.
That island, that next piece of property that looks,
North.
okay, I'm gonna be crude. It almost looks like a penis.
Okay.
Just saying.
I said Q-tip.
Oh my God. I know exactly. Okay. I see it. Holy crap. Damn it. Once seen, you can't unsee.
Exactly. That
Oh.
whole
That whole tip.
that
yeah,
whole
looks like-
penis is our island.
Just the tip.
Just the
huh?
tip.
Just the tip.
See? Sometimes
Oh, I was looking at the small one down below that where it says Mullet Lake Boat Ramp. You mean that giant one that's
This is
above
the
it?
big one.
It doesn't look.
It's the big
curve.
one. I got you.
It only
That
looks
is-
small to
Yeah.
you.
Okay, so where's the runway then?
So right there is where it says Hutchins Creek and St. John's River and all that. That right there is our island. And if you look parallel to where it says St. John's River, when you this is a view of it, you know, unmowed at this point. But if you look parallel to where it says St. John's River,
I see
From-
3 St. John's Rivers. Which one are you talking about?
the one on the
Oh.
bottom, the
Bottom?
one
Okay.
on the bottom.
Bottom by the tip?
Our runway stretches all the way from the very where the penis starts curving, all the way to the left.
It's just to the left.
She's fantasizing about our property.
Come fly
Yeah.
Penis
So-
Island.
Hey, my name is Crotches.
What was that? So that's that part. And then the very tip of the island is where we do all the ceremonies and plant medicine and ceremonies and overnight camping trips. And in the future, we want to have little mini Burning Mans and multiple weddings. And we have Boy Scouts going to be coming out next year to have a little jamboree out there for the Boy Scout troops. It's just
Graduation party.
it's the possibilities are limitless. So
I got a question. So, how does one get a hold of you to say they want to come down
So-
a weekend and
okay,
hang
we have a
out?
website, serenityisland.org. And our phone number, you're welcome to post in this blog. We blast our personal phone numbers everywhere. We are not afraid to take phone calls. serenityisland.org is our website, and all our information, our email, our phone numbers, our location, everything is on there. Or somebody can call us personally, and we're always there for anybody. Right now, because of Hurricane Ian, unfortunately, there's not going to be any flying or anything off of that for the next 6 months or I'm sorry, 3 months-ish, because Hurricane Ian came right over the island and it is 6 feet underwater, along with every single thing that we work for, nonprofit.
Are you,
Looks like a
everything, our
very
traffic.
interesting. Sorry.
that's terrible. So it was all underwater?
It's
We
all
rode-
underwater.
We rode
So,
our boat over top of the tractor.
so when
Wow.
Hurricane Ian hit, we were hoping it would turn, and I kept willing it to turn because I'm a huge believer in manifesting things, but my manifestations did not come to fruition, and it decided to go straight over the island. And we went out afterwards, and we literally rode our boat over our big tractor loaders. We rode our boat over all our tractors, 2 aircraft. Big generators. Our houseboat where we lived was completely sunk. It's total devastation.
That's terrible.
It is
I'm sorry to hear that. It's
really horrible. I think that we lost connection with them also. Do we have any questions?
there.
in the
She's
super
back.
chat?
She's just
oh,
muted.
she's unmuted. She's just muted.
Right. Shana, you got to unmute yourself now that you're back. So is
She's
there
got
any
an
questions?
iPhone or Android.
I don't know. Do we have any questions in the super chat that we need to go over? Also, we had a donation from DP.
Bill asked, was it Paracrave Island or something? Is that the same thing?
We got all the links down below. Shanna, you got to unmute yourself. We can't hear you.
Okay,
There it
now
is.
okay. So when we started this whole endeavor, Para-Rave Island was the airstrip area, and Serenity Island is the tip where we do the adventure, all the fun, like healing with nature. So Para-Rave Island is where we kind of named it that to, you know, along the paramotor type thing, where that's where the runway is and everything. But it's the same island, same area, but we just have different locations for different functions, and we've named them different names. So Para-Rave Island is where the runway is and all the fly-ins and the little paramotor stuff. And then on the tip of it is Serenity Island, and that's where we keep all the healing aspects of our island. So
Interesting. Yeah, I got all of your links down below. So if you guys are interested in looking at what they're talking about, just use all the links. It's down in the social media after their bio. So you guys been doing a lot of stuff for a lot of people. You got an organization, a nonprofit. You bought an island. You have a Para-Rave, which is pretty awesome. So is Para-Rave your fly-in name, or is there a certain fly-in name that we're looking for, or what?
we use the fly-in name. We usually use Parapalooza.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, so Parapalooza is the fly-in name that we've used in the past. And again, we've usually had just small kind of private fly-ins. Anybody's welcome, but a lot of people are, let me say, hesitant because they're like, oh wait, what do I do? I got to put my plane on a boat, and I got to put my aircraft on a boat, and then I got to sail over this island, and I don't what I don't, you know. So they're a little hesitant, and it's just going to take more and more people saying, hey, it's this easy. The boat, you know, our boats are built where they're level with the dock. The boat, the plane literally rolls right onto the boat, like it's not like you're lifting it up and manhandling it. And of course the paramotors you can just lift up and put right on the boat. It's a barge. We take our tractor, our huge John Deere tractor, over on this barge. So it's a big, you know, compensated triple, quadruple pontoons, not going to sink type thing. But, you know, when people hear about it, they're like, that's a little odd. I don't know about this. So
Could one bring their, go ahead.
I was going to, I think if it's the same one, I think I was scheduled to go down to Parapalooza. Maybe it was during COVID or right when it, you know, they released some of the restrictions. But then I ended up going to Swanee. So how many like paramotor, are they specifically paramotor fly-ins or like ultralight?
Ultralight. We have paramotor, powered paragliders, and paratrikes and powered parachutes. And actually fixed wing. We flew one of our friend was out there, and he flew one of our fixed wing aircraft off the island, like the hang glider fixed wing. So you can do it all. And yes, when during COVID we were having the Parapalooza, and then Live Oak decided to have theirs also. And I know a lot of people ended up going there because they were traveling from the north, and that was more north than ours, unfortunately. Yeah. So that we wished everybody would have come down there and enjoyed the island, but I also know the dynamics of everything. It can be. We had about 50
world back then when all that was going on too.
Exactly.
Everything was kind of up in the air.
Exactly. We ended up with about 50 people. We had about 50 people there, you know, like, of course, Eric DeFore always comes out and supports us. He's just a really good friend of ours. And his crew came out, and some of his Canadian friends came down and came out. We had people just that didn't even, had nothing to do with ultralights, just saw the event and just came out to camp on the island and just hang out with us. And they were, and speaking of the healing energy, we had one couple, and this is no lie, their name was Ken and Barbie. No lie. Not making it up. They were in a COVID crisis. They both, and one was, they both ended up working from home, and their marriage was you know how that is. You're away from your wife. You got your routine. You're away from your wife 8 hours a day. You come home, you got your routine. Now you're with your wife 24 hours a day, or your husband. And they were finding that their marriage was in crisis after 26 years. They were about to kill each other. One of the guy, Ken, he's a massage therapist. He was having chronic back pain, and that's new. He said he'd never had it before. She was having mental stuff, and they said they just have to get away. And they happened to see that they're nothing affiliated with Ultralights. They happened to see this thing, and they called me and said, hey, can we come camp out on your island and just watch what's going on? I'm like, absolutely. They came out, and about 2 weeks later, I get a phone call, and it's Ken, and he said, Shana, I don't know what mojo your island has. I don't know what happened to us out there, but our relationship is stronger than ever. We're not contemplating divorce, because they each confided in me about, hey, we're about done. We're looking at divorce. We're not contemplating divorce. My back pain's gone. My mental state is better. My wife is more excited about her job. He goes, I don't know what happened, but I keep doing it. And I was like, whoa, okay. I know Mark and I always feel that when we're out there, the whole world disappears and all your bills and your struggles disappear, and you feel, kind of like your stress is being relieved. It's still out there, but physically your stress is being relieved. Therefore, your heart rate is better. Your blood pressure is lower. Your immune system's better. And you feel like you're healing, even if it's for a short time. And Ken and Barbie, they're still, in fact, I talked to them probably about 6 months ago, and they're still happy as can be. They're like, oh my gosh, we're so happy. Thank God we came out there. And so there's something to nature and healing proven. Researchers have proven it. So we invite anybody and everybody to come to the fly-ins, paramotor, paratrike, it doesn't matter. Anybody who just wants to get out in nature and come be around a great group of people, because that everybody in the 99.9% of people in the paramotor, ultralight community are just amazing, and they're fun to be around, and people want to be around people like that. So whenever we have these events, we invite people that have nothing to do with paratrikes or paramotors or anything to come out and just enjoy some fun with us.
It looks like
so yeah.
On your Facebook that you have like introductory flights for like $100. So people that are interested in actually just going up on a trike, y'all do flights for like, oh, is she gone?
There she is.
And you have to
unmute it again.
Yeah, you got to unmute yourself when you come back.
Okay. It looks like on Facebook, what?
Okay, on Facebook, it looks like you have introductory flights. So like a tandem, a trike flight with somebody on there for $100. That's a great deal. I mean, for people that are like maybe interested in the sport, but don't want to pay for the training or the equipment, that just want to go up and see what it's like. That's awesome. Do y'all sell just trikes, or do you have to buy the whole kit, the trike and the motor?
Oh, we'll make you happy. What do you need? I mean, parts, so we can make your parts. I've been buying ultralights for 30 years. Powered parachutes, I've probably bought and sold 500 different powered parachutes, from the Parasender, 6-shooter, Buckeye, all of them, Destiny, the Paraplane. I've rebuilt all of those. I was a dealer for DFS Spartan out of New York. They had the fiberglass airframe for 20 years. I was their dealer.
So let me just say something. So why we have what we have is because of that DFS. Mark was the dealer for the DFS Spartan. They're out of Greece via New York. And back in the day, before all the ultralight restrictions of Part 103 and all that, when the ultralights were booming, a man in Greece created the DFS ultralight that flew a paraglider wing, a parachute wing, and a hang glider wing, all on the same frame. Okay, it's beautiful. It looks like a pod. It's a cool looking fiberglass pod aircraft. You can't see it back in here because it's dark, but I actually have 3 of them that I've personally rounded up from 3 different places in the United States. I went and got them so they could come home to Papa, which is Mark. But so this is the original. Let's see. I don't know if you can see that pod. See that pod? So this is the original. Let's see. I don't know if you can see that pod. See that pod? 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 See
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
There's a wing in the seat, but see that?
Yeah.
So that was the original DFS, and it flew all 3 wings. But in order to change out the wings, it was like, okay, you had to do this, and 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 it was just cumbersome. So ever since Mark flew that aircraft and knew he could fly 3 wings on that, it's been his dream since what, the 90s, 80s, 90s, to come up with an aircraft that can fly come up with an aircraft that can fly all 3 wings on the same airframe with very minimal change out time and make the aircraft more user friendly. So we all know that powered parachute, I jokingly say a monkey can fly it, but that is not true. You have to have some skill, but it's the simplest form of flight. So when you get in a
My
powered
flight
parachute,
instructor says you could fly, a monkey can fly an airplane. So
yeah, well, there you go. So, powered parachute, you take off, you use your feet to, you push left, you go left, you push right, you go right. When you want to come down, you give a gas, you go up, you give a gas, you cut off the gas, you go down. When you land, you flare, you land. Okay. So that's great. But the average wing, the parachute is a big like wing that is made for skydivers to come down slowly and not hit the ground. So it's a big cumbersome wing, and your speed is what, 28 miles per hour. So say you're flying a powered parachute and you've been flying it for 5 years at 28 miles per hour. Well, that's great, but at that point you're probably going to want a little more zip, a little more fun, something more versatile. So what Mark did was changed the powered parachute to where it could fly not only a powered parachute wing, but a paraglider wing. And with the design he has, the paraglider wing, number one, they're more highly, they're more lift, they're more highly dynamic when it comes to the way they make them. They're I think a lot more math and everything is put into them. There's more lift, and because you have different hanging points, you can actually pitch that wing and increase your speed with your skills. So you can start with it at a certain hanging point, and then you can, yeah. So you can pitch your wing with, as you get better and better, you could actually pitch your wing with these split risers that Mark developed. You can actually pitch the wing, and it increases your speed, because when you add pitch, you know what I mean, you go faster. So in saying that, now we have somebody who's flying a power, and on his pair of trikes, they have both hand throttle and foot, and I wish, yeah. I don't know if you can see.
So you see, so I sit in here.
So I'll just show you. It's easier to show you than.
So when I'm flying with my feet, I got my feet, hand steering for the ground. My throttle's on my side. I got plenty of room. Give it gas, you go up. Come off the gas, you go down, left, right. I don't have to fly with my hands above my arm or my arms above my head for however long. I have a shattered scapula. So flying with my feet is way more comfortable, than flying with my arm above my head. It starts to hurt. So I go back to flying with my feet, which is, I got a camera in my hand. I fly with my hands in my lap. It's just more comfortable. Powered parachutes. I've been flying skydiving for 30 plus years. I got 2,200 skydives. I got over 3,000 hours flying powered parachutes and paratrikes and paramotors. So the parafoil aircraft is, my chosen aircraft. It's the simplest form of flight. Anyways, I got a hand throttle. So if I wanted or to teach somebody, toggles in your hand here.
I can't tell if I'm even on you. Okay.
Toggles in your hand. You got your hand throttle. You got foot steering. So when you're on the ground, you steer with your feet. Show them down here. So you steer with your feet. So now lift it up a little bit. There you go. So you can fly it like a paramotor, or you can fly it like a powered parachute. It matters on how you want it set up. Me personally, when I'm flying an aircraft, being the pilot in control, I prefer to be up front and put my life up front instead of my students' life in front, where paramotors, they got the students in the back, and the powered parachutes, they got them up front, which is my preferred way of flight. You know, I would rather them land on me and get hurt if something was to happen in this form of flight. You know, I can very easily move back here into the back seat in this aircraft and teach them. I can have throttle here, they can have throttle there. I can take control of the wing back here to assure them that they're right. You know, I can run the throttle until they're used to using the throttle, because throttle control is where shit happens. If, you know, when you're teaching them, most of these guys get up, they just give it gas and they go, and which is fucked up, man. I'm sorry. I've seen a lot of just mistakes being made without throttle control.
I like that rear seat, because most of the paramotor trikes you see that are tandem like that, they're even with each other.
Yeah,
You have to look around. You're like way up. You can see clear over the person.
Correct. And that's the whole reason why I elevated, is so I can see what's going on. So this is my unit for.
And when he takes people on paratrike rides, we take them over the river, and they over by NASA, and their head is above where they have their phones, and they can see everything. And the videos that they get are just amazing. But so
let me continue. So you can see you got foot steering, you got hand steering. You can use hand throttle for the you know, if you use your feet. If you want to go up, and you can fly with your feet and this hand throttle. Just so you know, you can fly it with you take off. So these guys that aren't used to flying with their feet, they can take off with their hands and the hand throttle. And once they get comfortable, they can switch over to their feet, which once you're, again, flying, I'm older, and I got a shattered scapula, so my arms above my head really irritate me after 10, 15 minutes. You know, I'm real comfortable with my camera in my hand and doing what have you.
It looks
That's
like
pretty impressive, though. You said 2,200 jumps. That's a lot.
yeah.
So it's not really a lot. I mean, guys that I jump with, they all got 15,000, 20,000. So I'm the low man on the totem pole. I switched over to flying, and more of my hours went into flying. The woman I was dating, her father had a hangar out here, and in fact, the aircraft he had was in a hangar right across the way over here. And I walked in, it was in pieces. He had put it in the river accidentally, and butt hurt. He didn't fly it for a minute. And I went out there, and she's like, let's go over to my dad's hangar. We went over there, and he had this ultralight in parts. And I'm like, what? Why is it in pieces and parts? I'm like, let's put that together and fly it. And we got a hold of her dad, and he's like, you want to fly it, put it together. Well, 30 days later, I had that thing back together, running it up and down the runway. And all these aeronautical engineers from NASA, they're on this field right here where I've been stationed. And I'd go over in the mornings while they're drinking their coffee, and I'd just sit there and listen to their war stories. And when they were done talking, getting away from their wives, sitting out here.
Tony in chat wants to know, do you have any kind of water safety for when you're flying over there?
I do. In fact, if you look on some of my stuff, I got one of my units is actually in a canoe, a half a canoe. So if I have an engine out, I can land on the water. But I have,
he hugs the edge of the river. So, and along the edge of the river is, and he stays at a decent height where if there was an emergency, he has plenty of room to find his out. And so on the edge of the river is tons of soccer fields and parks and all sorts of stuff. It's not.
So he's got a trike that has a canoe built on the bottom of it, so he can just take off from the water.
Well,
no, you can't take
off on the land. Parachute doesn't just take off on the water.
Yeah, you can't lay your parachute out in water.
This same unit is set right down, and if you know what a Coleman canoe is, it's a plastic, basically, canoe.
Yeah.
It weighs next to nothing. Well, I cut one of those in half, and this is perfect, and I mounted it right up underneath of it. I filled it with expanding foam, which led to next to no weight extra. But if I'm going to take more people out over the island, is what your viewer was asking about. We're over water over the island, so I'll be able to land. I'll take off from the runway and land on the runway if I didn't have an engine out. But if I have an engine out, if I fly over the water, I can land on the water, and the wing would go down the water, and I'd gather it up, and then I could use my front tire will be down in the water, so I could start the motor back up and then guide it
and actually steer it with the front tire.
With the front tire.
Yeah.
Back to shore.
We've tested it in the St. Johns River.
So
And
I want to say, because I know DP has to leave, and he donated $10 to the super chat. Thank you, DP.
oh, nice.
And I don't know if he's setting me up here, but he says, let's see, what did he say? The healing aspects, is that ayahuasca?
Yeah.
Ayahuasca,
yeah.
It's all plant medicine: ayahuasca, ibogaine, mushrooms, San Pedro, mescaline, everything that are plant medicine approved. We actually have psychiatrists and therapists that come out, and shamans that do the plant medicine. Yes, they are all psychogenic medicines. Yes. Yes,
So-
that's not what we're all about, but that is a part of what we're about.
So back up and let me show them real quick.
So what?
This plane. Let me
Well,
finish.
they changed the subject because somebody had a question about it.
Okay. So
I just wanted to make sure he got that question answered.
no problem. So stand right there. So if you look at this paratrike here, and you look at that paratrike over there, this one would be more a slower that I've got set up. On this one, if you look at these, where the attachment bars, they're level going across right here. And then if you look over here on this one, I got them. It's pitched down. It's pitched down a little bit. Okay. So now, if you come over here, and this one's pitched down a little bit. So when I taken these risers right here, so most paratrikes, you see I got separate risers. So most paratrikes, they have one set of risers that come down and they attach to wherever. So if you're on a swing at a park and you sit down in the swing, you got two chains coming down, one on the left, one on the right, and you're just sitting there, not trying to swing or anything, and you pick up your feet and you lean forward a little bit, you'll swing forward. And if you lean back, you swing back. Well, on one attachment point, you have
More pendulum swing,
the pendulum swing. So looking right next to that swing that you're sitting on is a child seat, and that child seat's got 4 chains coming down to that child seat, and that's for safety, so it doesn't pitch and twist, and the child's safer. So the pendulum is reduced, and the torque twist from the motor is reduced when you separate your risers.
That is really neat. I did not know about that.
Okay, so even Eric Ford just started separating his risers. Now, he's not pitching or nothing, and he's got them a little bit closer together, but this is like a 1 foot spread, and over here I got like a 16-inch spread. So I'm pitching them and spreading them different spreads. That's what all these trikes are about. Is they're my prototypes, and I've raised them from having them at center of the prop line to higher above to lower than the prop line. So I've raised this attachment point at all different levels to find that sweet spot. Okay.
So
and then I took I took in with the powered parachute and the paratrike. If you look at the powered parachute units on the old units, if you look at them flying, there's a flat spot in the center of them. It's because of the wing. There's a flat spot in the center. Well, they got the attachment point way too wide. They had it like 60 inches, which is way too far away, which creates that flat spot in the top of the wing. So
And the wing doesn't perform like it should.
yeah, if you look at a skydiver wing, they're not performing like that. That's not the way they're set up. They're rounded. They're not got a flat spot. So even in the newer models, their attachment points came way in. So like on the Exciter, which one of Eric DeFore's, his attachment points are like 32 inches spread, which is for the Exciter wings, and that's great and all. But so I went out to 32 inches, and even on, like, if you look at some of these other attachment points that I have down here, I had 32-inch spread, but at a 32-inch spread, your torque twist and your torque twist and your rocking starts going the wrong way, so you can go thin down to, like, a majority of them are about 22 inches, 24 inches. So I went all the way up to 32, and then I brought it back down to 28 to get that sweet spot. And if you look at the new parachute wings are their thin adapt connection points are 28 inches. So powered paragliders are, their sweet spot's 22, but again, they can go up to 32-inch spread, like on the Exciter, with no problem, hush. But bringing them down to 28 inches, where which is the narrow attachment on the parachute, and making them where the paraglider can safely attach to it, the parachute can both safely attach to it. Now I can fly both wings on this aircraft. Parachute starting off is the easier, more docile wing, like driving a VW, where a paraglider would be more like driving a Porsche, so starting off, and matter on your age and people's eye-hand coordination and how they react, response time, maybe they should start with a parachute and then gradually get into the paraglider. Some people can go right into the paraglider because they've got quick reflexes, but
So the whole purpose of what Mark is building is a few key elements. Building an aircraft that will grow with the pilot. Their skills with a parachute, and then they can advance quickly with a 15-minute change out. It's not even 15 minutes. You unhook, four studs, and you put the new wing on. Now they're flying a paraglider wing, and they can advance with it, and then they can advance with the pitching of the wing. So, I'm not done. I'm not done. They can advance with the pitching. We do this all the time. So, and advance with the pitching of the wing also. And then the next step is we're building a swivel system that where somebody can pull their aircraft, the same aircraft, up to a hang glider wing, and quickly, with just a few pins, attach a hang glider wing. And now you have a much faster, more even explosive flight. We build them all so you can do all those three wings on the same airframe. We build the airframe so if you do bend or crash, God forbid, or bend something or break something, you can go to your local fabricator and have them bend that tube. You don't have to wait 6 months call a parachute parachute company, and it's all bolted together, so you don't have to hire a welder. And we're making it where it'd be user friendly, because a lot of the problem is, like, people sell these paratrikes for $30,000-$40,000. You bend one tube and you got to order it, you got to wait for it, and then you got to put it on, you have to do this and that, you have to wait for the hardware, and it just gets ridiculous sometimes. Ours, you can have your local fabricator mimic the tube that's on the opposite side, the existing tube that's not, say, bent or whatever, and you can put it together with your grade 8 hardware, and you can advance in your flight without having to buy a paramotor, a PPG, a powered paraglider, a powered parachute. And now you got to buy something that accommodates a fixed wing, a hang glider wing. You can do that all with the same aircraft and not have to purchase a new aircraft every single time. So
Dawn, you gonna do the spinny wheel of spinny things? Well, you just disappeared. Come back. Is it time?
Well, it is almost 8 o'clock. So we have some questions in the super chat for you guys. We're at the end of the interview, but we also want to say hello and thank you to everybody that was in the super chat. So Will Fly, if you're able to go through your list of all the people that are on your spinning wheel of winning things and say hello if you would.
Yeah, you bet. So we got John Wayne, Bill H, DP, Scott Milner, Alias Sunflowers, Flows, Bonnie Silly Bonfrons, Christopher Altmeyer, Walter Priori from Australia, PPG the other Nick, Tony Marzano, Eric Von Eric, Travis DuPont in the house, Deweese Milstead, Just Wanna Fly, Munchkin, Mad Sloper, Plainfield PPG, Para Ninja, John Allen, Martin, Angela Preslick, and the infamous Never Trust a Skinny Chef Shane.
Never Trust a Skinny Chef Shane, what's up? I'm so glad that you made it here. So if you guys want to see a good podcast, make sure you go to ppgshane.com tomorrow on Tuesday night hangouts, or is it Paramotor Hangouts now?
Paramotor Hangout.
Paramotor Hangouts. Check out Paramotor Hangouts on Tuesday. He's got a really interesting video that he's going to be talking about. So there's your 2 minutes of fame on my show, Skinny Chef.
Thank you, chatters.
All right, so let's go ahead and spin. We're going to spin. Hey, Will, how long can you hang with us tonight?
I got another 15 minutes.
All right, so let's spin this now and then spin it again in 10 minutes. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so the first one, let's go ahead and give away some new stickers, and also we got some, I don't know what you really call these. They stick on the back of your cell phone and your finger can go through it so you don't drop your phone. What are those called?
Lifesavers.
Fingers, holders.
Yes, I think they're called.
Oh,
That would be like a phone saver. That's what I call it, a phone saver.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a phone ring or something like that.
Phone
So
thing.
PPG, the other Nick, or Tony Marzano?
yeah, I think it's gonna be Tony.
Tony.
All right,
Man,
Tony.
this guy's always winning.
He's always winning. Can I get
Tony,
the super
I don't
chat or
understand
can I get in the
how-
spinny wheel winning things?
How are you rigging this up, Tony? You know, and Angela, and you guys that win all the time, and I don't get it. So we'll go ahead and send you. You already got stickers and stuff,
Yeah.
guys.
Oh, we'll stop that.
Congratulations, Tony.
So
and
I
Megan.
tell you what,
Sure.
Tony,
Simulation.
do me a favor. Just text me. You got my number. Let's see if we can get you something other than the same things over and over again. The next spin, so you got to be here to win, is going to be a T-shirt that says Paramotor Pilot. That's see-through.
Nice.
It's see-through. Look at that. It's so awesome. I don't know how that works. So that right there, we're going to send out a winner with a Paramotor T-shirt in about 10 minutes. So
Woohoo.
so before you got to go, Will, just go ahead and spin the wheel. We also got the questions in the super chat. Who wants to ask the question in the super chat? Jim, Will, Steve, whomever.
Yeah. Okay. So it was. Then actually, Mike, you had a question, didn't you?
Yeah. So my question was for any of the panel members, but mainly as well for the guests too, since you just said to use a cut-off canoe or kayak for the flotation in case you had an engine out. What about considering a USAAM 33 inflatable vest? What would those be? Would those work with paramotors, or would that even work with that trike, given that much weight?
Well, I actually keep on talking. I actually have stuff.
He's bringing something that he has inflatable.
Hey, that's not this type of show here, guys.
Yeah.
Gotta get it out of the closet.
He's gonna have a little inflatable giraffe he keeps around his neck just in
Yeah,
case.
her name is Susie. No,
Yeah. So if you look here, we have inflatable, CO2 filled vests. And this right here, I could put it underneath the paratrike. And, I could position several of these underneath the paratrike. And when they hit water, they self-inflate. Any of these self-inflate once they're submerged. So they're CO2 filled, they blow up immediately. And I could place those, but you're not those bottom line, if you take a trike and if you're not good and you do not flare high on a trike and kind of back it into the water, your front tire is going to hit that water and you have the possibility of flipping it and rolling it. And then if you have a passenger in the back seat, you have a possibility of this paratrike being upside down on you and your passenger, and hopefully they haven't broke their neck. So that's where the canoe comes in. The half a canoe you can glide it in and safely skid it on the water, where you don't have to worry about that front tire grabbing and rolling the trike over on top of you. So you have to think about all the different factors when you're trying to consider on doing a water landing. These are great.
Yeah, if you have those inflatables under the bottom of the trike and it flips over, then it's going to lift the trike up and keep you under the water. That would be bad.
Exactly. So if I'm going to do,
I just meant like as a vest on the person.
I use the vest. I use a vest like this if I plan on doing anything over water, which is, very rare. But it's, if I want to, do some foot dragging on water, I definitely wear a vest underneath.
Water's dangerous. Bottom line, water's dangerous.
Yeah, that's the last resort, obviously, and that was my question. Was like if it only because we've had a recent paramotor incident down here in Missouri with a paramotor pilot who is no longer with us, and they're still, it was my knowledge, is searching for the remains.
You have any video of you landing that canoe / trike?
Or do you have the video, or do you have the canoe right here where we can see it?
No, it's at our house, actually. We're at the hangar.
We're at the hangar right at this minute. But I will have that, and it's the next prototype that I'm going to be working on, is bringing that thing out and getting the landing gear and everything correct. And it'll have big tires on there for extra flotation, like outrigger type stuff. Regular tires that'll cut through the water and not flip the aircraft over. It'll have outriggers, and I was brought up on flying ultralight, which has more power. So when in doubt, you power out. Well, some of the paramotor engines don't have the power that I like to play with. That's why I play with the powered parachute side of things, and I've attached the wing, the paraglider wing, which is way more high performance wing, 100%. That's why I like playing with the paraglider wing under this trike configuration. I'm not wearing nothing, starting and flying. Why it can be dangerous doing the backpack. So having it mounted on wheels where you don't have to wear it on your back. A lot of people are getting hurt and cut up arms and legs and stuff with the paramotor. So I prefer a paratrike, whether that paramotor is mounted on a trike itself or you play with a bigger motor like what I do. I like to play with I got 254 pounds to play with, so I utilize that with the power. On this aircraft, real quick, before I get any further, I want to show you that on my attachment points, if you look, what I was talking about, see, I can pitch this attachment point. It'll raise up or down. So like a beginner level, I'll have it level. And if you want to fly faster, like I fly 50 miles an hour, which is plenty fast enough, but I pitch mine down a little bit. So I can start it off, like if you start off and you're a beginner, we can run this thing level. And since I split these risers, if you understand, back that up over that way so you can see. I split these risers. So now, if you can understand, it's like pulling down on the front risers. But if it's flat and level, which is normal, then you're flying at normal speed. But since they're pitched a little bit, you know, I can increase the speed and the pitch of the wing, so I'm speeding up the wing virtually, and then I can run like rear risers, rear toggles for speeding up, front risers for the front, rear risers for trim in the back. So if you're flying long distance, I can have a rear riser where I'll pull down on one side and set it so, you know, I can crab into the wind, or if I want to dive, I can grab the front riser and dive with that on a pitched wing. If you look at this aircraft also, on this one, you got to move. I got to see that this one here moves. So not only do I can pitch it, but I can speed it up by changing the center of gravity in the air. So virtually, this is the trikes that we have here. I guarantee I can these $40,000 powered parachute. I can fly circles around them. These are the world's fastest trikes right here without.
Just the pitching of the wing and the shifting of the thing. It increases the average speed of one of these trikes from about a 28 mile per hour to about a 50 mile per hour. And that's with acceptable wing load and everything. That's safe zone. So you're increasing your speed, therefore increasing your flying experience as it grows, as you grow as a pilot. As long as you and another thing is these all these kits, and I'll just point out, all these kits are made up of.
This has got an open face.
All these kits are made up of 4 different tubes. So all those people out there that have old six shooters and parasenders and Harmony high flyers and all these things that they've been cruising at their 28 miles per hour for the last 20 years, they can actually buy the kit of 3 or 4 tubes and install it themselves on their existing aircraft and create
It kind of looks like those are going to be like metal trims for us. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think
Did we lose him?
I think we lost him again. Do we have any more questions in the super chat?
One was answered. Tony asked about flying over water. We got that. And the skydives, hey, we're caught up.
Okay,
Let's see
good.
here. Got another one. Plainfield PPG. Was there any video? No, we got that. No video on the canoe landing.
Okay. All right. Well,
Okay.
let's go ahead and spin for one of these Paramotor pilot shirts. And
I so want to be on the wheel for that.
well,
Yeah, me too, man.
well,
Well,
you
I'm
know,
not
you
gonna
guys,
do
if you guys
There.
want one of these things, let me
Okay,
know
I
if you're on
lost
the
you,
panel,
sorry.
and we'll hook you up.
Anyway, that's
So-
what I was saying. Like, you don't have to, we made the kit so you could actually transform your existing airframe into a faster, more maneuverable aircraft that flies the paraglider wing. So
real quick, look
we're
at
no, I think we're doing the wheel again, Mark. I think we're done.
Are you
Are we
ready
doing
to
the wheel
spin?
again?
Look real quick.
Yeah, we're gonna spin the wheel one more time, and then we're gonna hang out with you in the after show
Okay.
Here we go.
because Will's got to go.
Okay.
And when you gotta go,
You gotta,
go.
Thumbnail. You gotta do the thumbnail.
Oh yeah, thumbnail,
Oh,
right? Let's
Thank
do the
you.
thumbnail. I saw Linda without her glasses. I knew what that meant.
Is that the key? Is that the cue for the thumbnail?
It
Yes.
must be. You guys that are listening to
That
us,
is, that's the cue.
you guys are
got it.
listening to us
Tony
on your favorite.
Marzano again.
Yeah.
Walter,
Oh,
What? No, what?
Walter,
$800 for shipping.
Walter already won. I'm still paying off my second mortgage for sending him stuff.
My ticket.
Walter, we'll see what we can do. You got my number. Text me. But let's go ahead and take his name off. We'll do something for him digital. I can't send you
Okay.
anything, Walter.
There you go.
But
There you
text
go.
me, man. We'll hook you up. let's go ahead and spin again for the shirt. Somebody in the United States, please. I can't ship out of the United States.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, let's go ahead and spin. And of course,
I did take Walter's name off, but chances of him winning twice are slim to none, right?
Really? Do you realize how much he won last year?
He should be buying lottery tickets for us all.
Oh, kidding, right? So whoever wins this one, you guys that win, make sure you go to podcastwinner.com. It'll be a form there for you guys to fill out. Deweese Milstead, of course.
I think it might be.
Just want to fly.
Just wanna
All
fly.
right, just want to
Just wanna
fly.
fly.
Jade.
Just want to fly.
Hey, Derek.
Woo!
All right.
My
Yeah.
girl Jay.
That's
Yay.
awesome. So go to don't kill that spinning thing. Let's go ahead and spin one more time. Make sure you guys go to podcastwinners.com. Follow what's on there so you guys can get your stuff. We're going to spin for paramotorman.com. So Bonnie won paramotorwoman.com. And if you go to
Hope a man wins.
paramotorwoman.com, it actually goes to her YouTube channel. Has nothing on there, but if you can go to paramotorwoman.com and click subscribe when she starts putting some stuff up, that'll be really cool. All right, so let's go ahead and spin for either Paramotor Man or Paramotor Guy.
Tires.
What if it lands on a girl then? What happens then?
Well,
Huh?
nothing we
Whatever
can do.
identify.
You better go get paramotorchick.com.
Human dot-
There you
I don't have
Paramotor
Paramotor, but we're going to give away these .coms.
Paramotormama.com.
Let's see.
Oh, mama.
So
Cuba.
winners. No, see, Walter, that's something I can get you is one of these .coms.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to win though.
Christopher.
No, I just mean Walter. When you get up with me,
Christopher Altmeyer.
Right.
Hey, congratulations, Christopher Altmeyer. Get so excited on the spinny winny.
Right
All right.
on.
So they won what, the .com?
The .com, Christopher Altmeyer.
All right. So you won either Paramotor Man or Paramotor Guy. Just go to podcastwinners.com and fill out the form, and we'll get that sent out to you
Congratulations.
digitally,
also
of course.
winner.
And
Winner,
what was that?
chicken dinner.
Paramotorwinners.com?
Yeah, podcastwinners.com. Podcastwinners.com.
Slash
There's
winner,
a forum
winner,
up there
chicken
where you
dinner.
guys can
Winners.
collect your winnings. And who won the shirt?
Christopher Altmeyer.
No, just want to fly, right?
Oh, that's right. That's right. Jade.
Yeah.
Jade
Jade.
won the shirt. Cool. Congratulations.
You got to write these things down, or else I'll totally forget. That's why we got the podcastwinners.com. If you guys won anything in the past and didn't receive it for some reason, please go to podcastwinners.com, fill out the form, let us know what you won back in the day, and we will send that out to you. Now that we got a real store and we got a real department that actually is going to get these and send these out to you. All right, so we are officially in the after show. So Will, thank you so much for joining us and helping us out. He's also going to be doing a screenshot, a thumbnail for us.
Oh, we got to get him back on the screen. Mark and Shana. Mark and Shana, come back. We're doing a thumbnail.
Yeah, turn your phone sideways.
Okay.
Turn your phone sideways so we
Okay.
get
Oh,
see more of you.
Sorry. Okay.
There we
Get
go.
both of you in there.
Yeah, get both of you in here.
So just for the
Maybe one
record,
thumb piece.
I'm the mechanic on all these aircraft, so my husband has to be really, really nice to me, or he may find himself a little loose fuel line or something if he pisses me off. No.
You want to see your
All
smiley
right,
face?
we'll count to 3.
All right, Mark, get in here with your wife. Hurry up.
Okay.
Get in there.
1, 2, 3.
What are we doing?
We got it.
All right, good deal. Thumbnails
Hey.
are awesome.
Hey, it's been
Thanks,
fun, y'all. Hope you have a very happy Thanksgiving. We've got a lot to be grateful for.
Absolutely.
Too.
Happy Thanksgiving all.
Happy Thanksgiving to
Yep.
everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks.
Thank you, Mark and Shana.
Now-
Thank you all for being here, and thank you so much for having us on the show.
Oh,
Well,
We're just
we're,
two crazy kids with a dream. So
we're not
I'm just leaving.
done.
You guys are staying.
We're not done yet. Will just has to
Okay.
go. Will just has to go.
okay, bye. Will.
yeah.
All
I
right.
follow you, by the way. I follow
Well,
you on
thank you.
Facebook, so I know who you
Right
are.
on. I'm looking forward to visit you down there in Florida.
Yeah, come on down
Anytime.
anytime. Anybody wants
Yeah.
to come visit, we'll set you up out there on the island between January and July time.
Right
All right.
on. I appreciate
I'm gonna take you up on that offer.
Yeah,
I'm
we
gonna
have
take you up
everything
on
you
that.
need: tents and grills and everything. All you gotta do is bring you and your paramotor.
Right
Yeah.
on.
Cool.
Don't
I
go in
definitely try it out.
September.
Thank
Good night,
you.
all.
All right, Will. Thank you,
Bye.
bud.
Good
Later,
night.
Will. Thanks, Will.
Anybody else need to go? Or you guys good
Uh,
for?
I might need to go. I gotta get to bed early. I got 12 hours going tomorrow.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you for
Thank you,
joining
Mike.
us, and thank you for helping
Hey.
us on the panel, bud.
Yep, I appreciate it. One question before I go. So you use the vest, the inflatable vest, as well as when you're flying?
Who,
Yeah,
me?
Well,
Sean?
Yeah, only when I'm doing foot dragging or something over water.
Okay, yeah, I was just curious because I mean, I bought the PPG smoke thing, and it's like, oh, maybe it's just the one I should have, but just curious. But I appreciate being here. Thanks, guys. You guys have been great. I love the show tonight.
Thanks.
And I'm gonna be 7 to 7 from here on out. So the next Monday, if I'm a little late, like I fell asleep on the couch today. If I'm a little late, excuse my tardiness, but I will be here.
Okay.
We
come
understand,
to
bud.
Florida, come fly with us.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, man. I definitely will take you up on that, man, for sure. You guys have a great night. I'm gonna get to bed. And
All
I'll
right,
see you
Mike.
next Monday.
Night,
Good
Thanks,
night,
Mike.
Mike.
night.
Thanks.
Happy
Night,
Thanksgiving.
Mike. Thank
I
you,
have-
buddy.
Night, guys. Yep. Thank you guys. Bye.
I need
Jim?
to take off as well. Yeah.
Oh, you got to take off? You're gonna go fly? Take off? No, not that take off.
That's funny.
All right, Jim. Well, thank you so much for joining us. If you want any stickers or decals or decals, as they say up in Canada, get up with Jim. He has maple syrup smelling money, but that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about his printing company. You can go to carepp.com. Use the code PPGGrandpa to get yourself a huge discount. Huge discount.
10%.
Jeez.
10%.
Huge.
Jim's
discount.
holding it up. He's saying 10%.
See, Jim, I was saying a huge discount so people will go to your place. Now they're like 10%. I'm not going to go. Why'd you just totally messed up everything. Hey, also too, guys, if you do go to carepp.com, create a free account, and other cool things that we're going to be doing, we'll let you know when we do a monthly email, let you know what's going on.
What about your Black Friday sale? I haven't heard you mention anything about that.
Well, it's still a soft launch, so if you guys want a really good deal on training and wings, go to paramotorarkansas.com and pay for your stuff right now, because we're giving away free wings with training, which is unheard of. It's really, really good deal.
Wow.
All right, so Jim, thank you so much. Anything else you want to say before you have to head on oot in a boot?
Yeah, you bet. Mark and Shana, that was a great show. I really look forward to sometime flying to your island. I think that would be awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome. You're always welcome.
Always welcome.
Yeah, if I'm in
Thank you.
Florida, I'm definitely going over there.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to take a
Yeah,
trip
Yeah,
over there
it's a
too.
beautiful scenery, dude.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm excited about those calendars, Jim.
Oh, he already left.
He left, but I know he can still hear me.
That's right. That's right. You got to go to ppgcalendars.com, upload your favorite, I guess your favorite picture of you flying, or someone taking a picture of you flying or something, and upload it, because we're going to be making calendars again this year. And you can always go over to paramotorcalendars.com and you'll be able to buy those off our site. Anyways, now we're in our official after show. So even though Mark and Shana are still here, we're still talking about paramotors and stuff, but it's open to everybody and anybody. Anybody want to join us tonight? Let us know in the super chat and I will put in the username and passcode to jump
Come
on if you
on
want
down.
to. All right. So, Shana, you really are doing some amazing things over there. You both of you guys are. I mean, bought an island. You fly all sorts of flying machines, ultralights. That's really awesome.
Flying machine.
Para flying machines. That's pretty awesome. You're holding the
Yeah,
Parapalooza
those things.
are pretty awesome. So definitely need to check
Yep.
out that. Do you know when your next Parapalooza flying is going to be? And
We do not. We usually have it in March, April. It
Okay.
all depends on how the island comes out after Hurricane Ian, how fast the water goes down. And then
Gotcha.
we will we'll assess it as the time progresses, we'll assess it. And then, you know, it can't just go down and we have one. It has to go down enough to where we can prepare for one. Because
Is it still underwater now?
Yeah, it's 4 foot, 5 foot.
5 feet underwater. I'm sick, yeah, to my stomach. Yeah. It's bad. But
All the houses in the neighborhood are.
yeah, the houses, we when we went out there, we had to park a half a mile from the park and drop our canoe in the middle of the road and row through the neighborhood, past the mailboxes, over block walls, and row through the neighborhood and to get out to the island. And then all we saw of the island was this huge river with our 3 little remaining pontoon boats, the 3 pontoon boats that did not, that the barge that escaped the hurricane, sitting right in the middle. Looked like they were sitting right in the middle of the river. It was horrible. Y'all can go to our Facebook pages and see. You know, when we started this island, we had a John boat and that's how we got out to the island. And literally on that John boat, with balancing it with a borrowed canoe with 2x4s, we took aircraft out there, 4-wheelers, golf carts on a John boat,
Wow.
balancing it with I mean, we're tenacious. And Mark, my husband, is very smart. He knows how to work with gravity and and leverage, and he just sees things where I don't. I would have been like, screw this. But he sees things and he can figure anything and everything out. He always has been. He's super smart like that. So so that's where we started, and we built this nonprofit up 4 years ago from having a John boat, 2 2x4s and a canoe, to having cabins out there, a tractor, 2 tractors, a houseboat, floating pavilions, event tents, generators, I think, just through us purchasing them at really cheap rates, and me tearing the motors down or tearing everything down and fixing the motors to get them running, people donating them, lots of hard labor. Like, it's not just you back up to the island and you drop your wood. No, you got to load the wood, back up to the boat, load it on the boat, sail the boat over to the island, unload the boat onto the wood onto the island, then get the tractor to get it to where it needs. It's a huge undertaking. And we've been tenacious and persistent because ultimately we want to help people. It's not, we don't want to kill ourselves just for us. We want to help people and leave a legacy. And that's what this has been about ever since we had the calling to purchase the island. After our house burned down during Hurricane Matthew,
oh my God,
we still don't have a house. We chose to purchase this island to help people instead of rebuilding our house. We still don't have a house. I'm not even gonna tell you what little shack type living situation we live in, but we don't care. We're outdoor people. We're up in the morning, we're out the door, we're out all day, we're working on aircraft, we're working on the island, we're helping people in the community and all sorts of stuff. And then when it's time to go to sleep, we go in and we lay our heads down, we go to sleep, and we do the same thing 7 days a week. So a house to us is just materialistic. It's a burden. We would much rather have the island and put our blood, sweat, and tears into that, where we can enjoy not only the nature and the healing out there, but other people can heal too. And that's why we're doing this. And when we die and we're long dead and gone, we are a 501c3 nonprofit. We do have board members. When we're long dead and gone, this island will continue to live on through key board members and key people who believe in the same thing we do. And that's what we're all about.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and we love every minute of it.
Most of the
And every
links,
time
guys,
we-
are in the description of this video. Go down. All their Facebook links are in the description. Go click on those.
Thank you. And every time we sell a trike, the money goes back into the nonprofit. We don't take this for personal gain. We don't go out partying. We don't spend it on nice vehicles. All our vehicles, if we can't afford it, pay cash for it, we don't get it. And that's just how we are. We're non-drinkers, non-drug users. We work for all our dreams. And anytime anybody does purchase a paratrike or anything else that we have here, which we have tons of stuff that we're going to actually start an online store. I mean, I have tons of stuff, nuts and bolts and risers and gas tanks and all sorts of crazy stuff just in this hangar. I mean, we have probably 15 to 20 aircraft just in this hangar with all the parts that come along with it. And,
get that store going. I'm ready. Where's it at? Where's the link? I'm going right now.
Yeah, we have so much stuff. But I gotta organize it. I gotta get prepared. Right now I'm dealing with FEMA and the Small Business Association and the IRS, but anything that anybody donates to us, know that it goes to the nonprofit. Nothing comes back into our personal gain. That is completely separate from our life struggling on our end after the house burning down. Everything is completely separate. We choose to put the money back into the nonprofit to make a healing place for years to come, instead over our immediate materialistic gains. We're not like that. We're not materialistic people. That doesn't matter to us. We are who we are. We're gangster. We're river rats. You know what I mean? And we love to fly. At least Mark does. I love to work on the motors. Mark loves to fly. It's his life. So
that's awesome.
I love it.
I know he wanted to show you one more thing. He's chomping at the bit to show you one more thing. Okay. This because he's not going to sleep tonight. He doesn't.
So paratrike ultimately can fly not only a parachute wing, paraglider wing, but it can also fly a hang glider wing. You take these two tubes, that one, there's one pin here, one pin there, you remove that. And then we have your center mast, to put on hang glider wing. You fold it down, you roll your front tire up, you back it up, and your elevator tube, which is what you steer with.
That was my whole thing. When I turned 40, I went up on a hang glider and I was like, oh, that's what I want to do. And then once I saw paramotors, I was like, hey, I can go up on a paramotor and stay up as long as I want to. Whereas with a hang glider, we were getting towed up to 5,000 feet and then they let you go. And however long you stay in the air, that was it. So that way that you have it, actually having a hang glider on top of that, you can just go up and stay up, which is awesome.
Right.
Because you have your motor for thrust. The ones you were on, you were on a hang glider, not a powered.
Yeah, it was strictly a hang glider.
So,
yeah.
So ultimately, this one frame will fly a parachute wing, a paraglider wing, mattering on how you want it set up, whether you got your hand throttle here, your foot, you can have foot throttle. I got one on that aircraft over there. So when you're flying your trike, most of them use a foot throttle. Flying a hang glider wing trike, they have a foot throttle in your elevator in front of you. But you put these tubes back on, and then you connect a cable here to your center mast. For extra support, it's not even necessary, but they're here to add extra support and stability on your lift. And then if you swing over to this one right here, then you have a support tube from your front that'll go up to your mast also. And like I said, here's your foot down here on your foot throttle. So mattering what aircraft you want to fly, you can have your throttle set up in 3 different.
So you're making basically the transformer trike. That's what that is, the transformer trike.
Yes.
We call it a hybrid trike.
Yes.
And all these wings see most. I started flying a regular conventional, you know, the pterodactyl, which is a big wing, and tear that down and to set it up, you're looking at over like 2 hours on something like that. When you go down to the hang glider wing, if you got one that'll you can leave it mounted to your trike, you can break that down in say 30 minutes. The paragliders, I can have either paraglider or parachute out 15 minutes up in the air and gone. But all these, you can put every one of these in a trailer, travel across the country, whether it is a parachute, paraglider, or a hang glider wing, get them out in the air in less than an hour, you know, mattering on how meticulous or how much or how much knowledge you have on that particular wing.
And we have a ton of people, believe it or not, that call us that are older gentlemen, not so much older women, older gentlemen. And they're a lot of them are Cessna pilots and this and that, and they still want to fly, but they're older. They can't get their medical on a Cessna. They can't run with the paramotor on their back, nor carry the paramotor. They can't keep their shoulders over their their arms over their shoulders because they're arthritic or whatnot. We have a lot, most of our phone calls are from people like that. They want something where they can relax, sit back, that doesn't stress their body, and but they can have diversity. And so that's what kind of made us think like, wow, you know, there's people want to fly, but they can't because they're stuck with this model or this model or this model, and every one of them have their pros and cons. But why not make a model that even you, okay, I know you feel more comfortable with a hand throttle than a throttle on the side of the cage or on the side of the aircraft. So why not have both? And you may feel more comfortable with foot steering, whereas the next person feels more comfortable with this. Make it both. Give all the aspects where a person can you can cater the plane to their comfortable flying skills, and have all of it on there. So when they do get it, they can say, okay, they can adapt to the plane as they grow as a pilot and get a faster and faster wing. And all on the same airframe without having to purchase another wing, you know. Okay, so
if you look real quick on this one here, this is the same tube that you can pitch your paraglider wing. Since we have, now you can only pitch it since we have the split risers, and splitrisers.com, we got the patent on that. We also got the patent on these kits for
I think we're losing you a little bit.
Powered cradle. Okay. So, and on these, I don't know if you can still hear me, but if you look where I attach on this tube, when you get torque twist, so I can swing this center tube from one side to the other, whether you got a left-handed throw or a right-handed throw, you can offset it to
counteract torque
with torque twist also. So
it has, it has a ton
a
of
lot of extra options people don't think about. The split risers make a big difference on your stability, your rocking
huge
back
difference.
and forth. I mean, it's like
Like night and day,
watch our videos.
It's pretty cool that he's got the patents on the split risers. I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what it's going to be all about in the
with
future.
That also, like I said, since if you only have pitch your wing because you got center of gravity, but when you split them, whether it's 4 inches, 8 inches, 12 inches, you can pitch that wing and speed it up, mattering on what wing it is. You got to test and fly. You can't just do this, you know. And again, if you go pitch it too much, you'll roll that front wing under, or that front nose under. You start getting at 60 mile an hour. Now you start pitching it.
Yeah, you have to be safe. You have to do your homework on the wing. It's, not just throw any wing on and full throttle on, balls to the wall, go. You need to, because I mean, Mark's hit ungodly speed, doubled his speed from a powered parachute with just the wing and everything, but like with the wind. But He always stayed under the safe level, even though he could go faster. He had he knew his wing, and he knew his skills, and he knew the winds, and
being able to pitch the wing first off, and then you add in that movable seat to change your CGs up there. So I can already pitch it, so I'm flying as fast as that wing can get. And if I put a emergency parachute on, now I can test it out and move the center of gravity up and pitch it out till possibly that front nozzle. But I'm inviting any fabric, any of the companies out there to build paragliders. I really have a great aircraft to do some big testing, not only on torque twist, but pitching your wing. I need a company that wants to build a wing for this type trike. Let's make the fastest world record. Let's make it happen on a regular basis. And, we can have a beginner right up to an expert. Stuff that people don't understand fly. Eric's been at 60 mile an hour. So I've been pushing that without a doubt. 3 meter, 24 meter anyways. Put it on me, you're over here. Shana.
Huh? Oh,
there you go.
Sorry.
Anyways,
my arm is waving.
But if there's any wing fabrication shops that would like to get with us,
take that challenge.
Yeah. And let's make world record happen. I invite you.
We got the aircraft that can do it.
We got the
Oh yeah.
And,
it's probably the fastest. That's for sure.
Oh, I guarantee it's the fastest. I'll bring a paratrike and let's wing up here. Let's see what we can do.
Okay.
I got to go.
So yeah, that's that.
I challenged Del Sanchez because
he did challenge Del Sanchez to fly against Eric DeFore, and
but
let's not talk about that. Are y'all still there?
We're still here.
Okay, so
I was rattling on anyways.
I told you, Sean, that my husband can talk.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's what we're doing. I mean, we're on a podcast. We better talk. Can you imagine if we just stopped talking for 5 minutes? We'd lose everybody.
I know, just sit and stare at each other.
So just because I go and I'm pushing the limits on a lot of different things, it's a little out of the normal what people are used to, but it's the next level of paratrike. Paratrike is the safest way to fly a paraglider wing. A lot of people are getting hurt with the backpack style, and as we get older, us grandpas, and I am a grandpa, the paratrike with wheels is the safest way to go. Bad legs, bad backs.
So the paratrikes are under 254 pounds, so we can fly them under the FAR 103.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we can keep these under 254. They can be great student units. You can see down above, like you said, not right behind where you can't see what's going on in your student. When I'm behind them, I can respond to everything that student's doing right in front of me. It's simple.
And they're under 254, but they're built. I want to say built like a tank, but under 254. I can do pull-ups off these prop guards. If you flip this plane, your plane's not going to fold. Your prop guard's not. We just lost a friend a couple days ago who had an accident in a fixed wing, a hang glider, and his little plane was so flexible because they want to keep the minimum weight. It was so flimsy, and it was a known whatever. I'm not. That's not why the crash was, but these things I can literally do pull-ups off the prop guards. I can do put dips off the side arms where the wing attaches to. If you flip one of these things and you're seat belted in, it's not going to cave in on you. It's very, very safe, and you feel it when you're underneath it. You feel that you're safe. You feel
They say they love Mike's. They love Mark's trike conversion.
Yeah. I invite anybody to let's make this big. I got great knowledge on flying parafoil aircraft wings.
We've
From
sold,
skydiving to paragliding to powered parachutes, all the parafoils to the power kites.
we
I used
sold,
to be
we
dealer
sent a
for the
kit.
Parakites.
We sent a kit to Arizona. I don't know if you know Steve Betty out there. He's kind of like a Rotax guru. And Rotax are our engines that we work on. We sent a kit to a guy who had an older powered parachute and a 6-shooter, and he put it on. And oh my gosh, he sends me back. He's sending us pictures and flies like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing because he's flying faster. He has more zip. He just pops off the ground.
Right. So the kit
it's
conversion kit. I
it's-
mean, there's a lot of these
he's
older
world of
powered
differences.
parachutes out there that are just sitting with these old wings. And the thing about the market with the powered parachute, if you look at the wings on the powered parachute side of it, there's no used powered parachute wings out there. And new powered
They
parachute
cost
wings,
too much.
they're $4,000. But now look at the paraglider side of things. They got more lift. They're more efficient flying. Big range from
Sizes.
from 8 meter up to 43 meter. So mattering on what your
price.
skill level is, you can go down faster, go weight faster, or you can pitch the wing faster. There's several different ways you can speed your wing.
And they're a half to a third of the cost.
Right. Yeah. So the market's really flooded with used paraglider wings. And
I may have to go to a trike because just putting that paramotor on my back is so freaking heavy. I'm getting like, man, can I even run to get up in the air? Because I'm like, I need a trike.
So
Yeah.
if you look
That's
at these
why I don't
right here, if you look at that unit right up there, you just mount a paramotor on that. It's the same setup as these. It's just like this without the Rotax on it. And you can mount your, 25 horse on that and fly it, whether you use your hands or your feet. The same setup, mount your paramotor on it.
So what he's saying is all this trikes and all stuff we're talking about, we do make smaller frames. They're still built with the same up in there. There's heavy duty like
front
material
nose is off of that, but it's
material and everything, but it still has the same concept. You can just put your paramotor right on it, strap it on, and again, you can fly with your feet, you can fly with your hands, you can fly with your throttle, low power.
You can put a hang glider on
Battery.
there. You put a hang glider on there. Yeah, I'm coming to get my.
We're losing our batteries here.
Is yours charging? Here we go.
Well, if you guys are losing your batteries and stuff, we can call it a night if you want to, and we can talk some other time. Don't want you to be talking and then lose us.
That's all good. Up to you. Whatever you want to ramble on, if you want, or we can shut it down. That's all your call. There you go.
Well,
You're welcome back anytime.
if we're gonna lose you, let's go ahead and go to a private after show.
There you
And
go.
just say goodbye to everybody on live, the live podcast. So
Okay.
we're going to say goodbye to everybody on the live show, and we're going to go to a private just for a couple minutes. We definitely appreciate y'all. Don't forget, you can always find us every Monday night over at clearproptv.com, paratalk.org, or search for PPG Grandpa's Paramotor Podcast on your favorite podcasting app. If you want to get something really inexpensive because you're listening to this and it's not a live show, go to ppggifts.com, and we have some gifts that are really, really inexpensive or free. All you got to do is pay for shipping on there. If you won something on the show, make sure you go to podcastwinners.com, fill out the forms, and we will send out your stuff to you as quickly as possible. If you're in Australia, Walter, we will do something digitally for you. We sent stuff to Walter, and I had to remortgage our house to send it to him. It's really expensive. So no more stuff, Walter. You won everything last year, but we'll hook you up for sure.
Yes.
That's funny.
Linda Anderson, she helps us out. She gets all of our people that want to be on the show, just get up with her by going to paramomusa.com, and she will hook you up. She also has a very popular son. I think he's like everyone knows him. He does a show every Thursday night. Tell us a little bit real quick about that, Linda.
It's Robert Michaels, and he is the host of paraglidingtalk.com, and you can catch him every Thursday night. And he always has awesome guests on the show and lots of good conversation and a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun. So y'all got to tune in on Thursdays, paraglidingtalk.com, because Paramount knows.
.com.
That's right.
Absolutely.
I got the name.
Absolutely. And tomorrow you got ppgshane.com. He's going to be talking about face planting. If you haven't seen it,
I can't hear anything.
Can you not hear anything? Can you not hear me? And
now I can. Sorry, I was telling Mark that.
Oh, okay. I thought my microphone went out since I said talk.
Oh, that lab loves you.
Dogs are wonderful. Dogs are
baby.
wonderful. I love puppies.
I got 3 of these. Everybody knows them as the Para dogs. Everywhere we go, they're like the Para dogs.
Dogs are
from the island.
I think everybody needs to have a dog. If you don't have a dog, go get one. If you don't have a dog, you don't want one, you can borrow one of ours.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Okay, I got 3. If you don't have a dog, you just need, something's wrong with you, I think.
Yeah, just come and borrow one. They're great. Then you'll want one. Also, tomorrow is Tuesday, so make sure you go to ppgshane.com and watch his face planting video and his podcast. To see what is it next? Wednesday. I'll get this right. Hold on. And Wednesday, go to paramotorgirl.com, and that's where Jade from Just Want to Fly does her podcast. Let's see. So we're gonna say goodnight to everybody. Scuba Steve, do you have a .com or anything you want to say? We're talking about
2 things I want to say. Yeah, if you go to paramotordude.com, that'll take you to my YouTube channel. Most of it is about vaping, but I do have some paramotor videos on there. I have a paramotor playlist. And Jade, I want to say, if y'all haven't watched Jade's last show, y'all need to go back and watch it because she did an outstanding job last week. Just want to point that out.
Yep, she sure did.
Awesome.
Very proud of her. I'm very proud of her. Love you, Jade. Much love, much love.
And of course, our wonderful guests that no problem talking for 2 hours.
I know, I love them.
Mark and Shana. And just amazing people. Here's a recap. Their house burnt down. They said, you know what? We don't need a house. Let's use the money to get an island. So they bought an island, and now they're inviting everybody that can fly over there. They got a runway. They have a ton of stuff in their hangars. Amazing people. All the links are down below. They run a nonprofit. So if you want to donate to them, please make sure that you do so. Anyways, Mark and Shana, thank you so much for being on our show. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you for having us. We had a wonderful time.
Absolutely. Now, you know that all of our panel members that you see here are past guests. So if you want to be on the panel every Monday, just jump on and be
hang with us.
Hang with us. Yeah.
Thank you. I did not know that, but that's awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. The more the merrier, So we're going to say goodbye to everybody that's listening to us live, and we're going to stay here. So you guys don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. We're just going to go private for a minute.
Love ya.
Much love. PPG Grandpa's Paramotor Podcast. Check that out on your favorite podcasting app. If you are thinking about learning how to fly and you want a great deal and a wing, make sure you go over to paramotorarkansas.com. Black Friday special. Fly Day. Oh, I like that. Black Fly Day special.
Hey, there you go. New one.
Like that. Yeah, I like that.
Do I have it down? The paramotor stamp?
What's that?
Do I have it down? When you guys are talking paramotors and you do the language, the body language, you're always like doing this thing. So I usually pull it down like this, but then I go like this. See, I got that down.
That's awesome. All right, guys.
Oh, that's good. Everybody's going to steal your idea now. It's going to be Black Friday everywhere. Black Friday.
Yep. Make sure you go to paramotorarkansas.com. Lots of Black Friday deals. Get training, get a wing. Holy smokes, you don't see that anywhere. Well,
Great
just this
deal.
weekend, and then it's done. So you better.
What kind of wing?
A school wing. So there's two different wings that you guys, two different types of wings that y'all can get. For $2,500 is a school wing, and then we can, when you want to turn that school wing in, we give you $1,000 credit for any wing that we sell. So
Awesome.
it's really a good deal.
Awesome deal.
All right, you guys stay here. Let's say goodbye to everybody, and we'll chat
Bye,
on the
guys.
after show. All right, we are going to say goodbye to everybody on the live stream. So goodbye, everybody on the live stream.
Bye, everybody on the live stream.
We appreciate you guys, and make sure that you guys go over to podcastwinners.com if you won something, or if you won something in the past and never got it, which might have happened. If that's the case, make sure you go there and let us know what you didn't get, and we'll send it out. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see you